Hey, I like a little 2-second music lead in. Yeah. I don't know. I was just listening to YouTube most of the day. Um, had my wrote up my bio for this website book to sell the 3 books. Oh, wow. So she wrote a little practice bio for me. And then I think hers had 73 words when I put it in Word document. And I was like, okay, let's see what I can. Yeah, I ended up writing a book. So we'll see if it can fit onto the website. If not, we're just going to have to do something a little different, aren't we? But I got to prep. And so let's get on with it. So in Donnie Darko, I will deliver them from the kingdom of Bane. So Donnie Darko says the word Bane. Goodness gracious, people. You see, now in their world of like The Dark Knight or James Bond 007, they're mirror images of each other, yet one's the Antichrist and one's God, or one's the Antichrist and one's God or his sheep. Like Jesus spoke in parables, so that's what the Riddler is. But we know that they're also mirror images of each other, as Blofeld had the right eye wound looking at James Bond, and that's kind of like their black and white checkerboard square world, and it's almost too hard to explain how they're all in their minds, in their world of their minds, uh, they're one and the same. And the Joker said that to Batman in The Dark Knight when he said, "You complete me." And I don't know if what he said before that. It's my son, probably. Hang on just a second. And that was my son. Musical intro lead in. I cracked myself up. So the Kingdom of Bane is just it's interesting how Bane is transported. They in when we saw the line, did we do it in Telling Truth 3? The line where she says, Donnie Darko, that name sort of sounds like a superhero. And he goes, how do you know I'm not? And of course, Trump said he was Batman. So, all the world's a stage. Um, can't remember if I loaded it this time around. Trump, the superhero, Donald Darko. Yep, 4 days ago. So hopefully you are a member of Telling Truth 3 if you are also subscribed to Telling Truth 2. What else? What else we doing here, sports fans? Oh, I should have kept Telling Truth 3 up because we might have something else to bounce off of. All right. 896328. That's not really for here. 318 Majesty's Secret Service Tracy tag. We got the 318 on there. That is a big day as far as a high watch day. That would be down in winter, rising on the first day of spring, but 318 was coded to us heavily on that TV show Touch. I have called it Touched before, but it was Kiefer Sutherland in Touch. And it was about a boy that was a seer, and all he saw was numbers. He was autistic, and he put numbers together, and 318 came up in everything. It was a very short-lived TV show that was not watched by a lot of people. I doubt any of y'all even knew that it existed. 45218 318. Why is this here? Trump is that many days old on 318. Now he is going to be, see the 402? He is going to be 28,404 on the first day of spring. 404 is the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. That's another big reason 318 is an extremely high watch date. It's gigantica. And so Trump's number is 163464. We get that by timesing 6 times 14 times 1946. And we times it by the amount of days old he would be on that day. That's a cipher that I follow closely. And notice he is in, when you do that, he's in the 464 range. And he's in that for weeks. And so don't forget his number ends in 464. So his number times the amount of days is now in the range of beginning with 464. Like I said, I think that's for weeks because you're only changing each day this fifth digit, multiplying it by that number. So the first three digits won't change until after a while. But what we're saying is we have a 4528 over here. Okay, 4528 is underlined down there at the bottom right. And 22, which the 22nd prime number is 79. 79 is murder in simple gematria. 22 times 2024 also gives us the 4528. Remember, in The Dark Knight, the bus rolled out saying District 22. And the movie was about what? The darkened right eye. Because the sequel was The Dark Knight Rises. And they put the movies 2 days apart. Literally rose on the third day. That is basically it. I will tell you, man, the 17th. Yeah. I'll tell you something else I wanted to look at. I looked at It because she's reading It, and It has 138 pages. 138 is Donald Trump in simple gematria. It came out September 15th, 1986. September 15th, 1986. Guess I got done with it, didn't I? September 15th, 1986. Wow, 3571 on our 86ing day. That was my son's old address in Devil's Advocate University town. Tomorrow, it's 13690. What about our high watch day? What does it come to? 13699. 369 are their big numbers. He would rise on the 20th, 13701. Wow. That's very interesting on a few levels. More personal ciphers be too hard to explain. I want to look at that eclipse. 13706. Okay. Let's look at the other eclipse. That was lunar. Let's look at the solar. 13720 again when the Dark Knight rose, right? The Dark Knight Rises came out on July 20th, 720. And you know we love that August date also. 13853. Yep. We love that 138, which is Donald Trump in Simple Gematria. All right, that's it for the It novel. I wanted to also look at Michael Dukakis. I'm voting for Dukakis was the first word spoken in Donnie Darko. Dukakis' birthday, November 3rd, 1933. Election Day 2020. It was 11/3, Dukakis' birthday. So that's a big cipher. November 3rd was when One World Trade Tower opened. So it represents rising of the Antichrist. And November 3rd is 11/3, which is the reverse of 311 numerically. And 311 or March 11th is opposite on a calendar, 9/11. So they're just bouncing things off of everything. If we look at the birthday of Dukakis, he turns 33,000 days old exact on 310 to Yuma on the eve of 311. Now, I was looking at today as a high watch day and rising on 310 to Yuma, but maybe 310 is the eve of the opening of the book of Revelation. So 3-9 has to be looked at as a high watch day. Doesn't it? 3-9 rising on 311 because it's opposite 9/11 and that was about rising. And tomorrow he is at Forum River Center, Rome, Georgia. Devil went down to Georgia. The time is 5 p.m. listed 500. Is Antichrist in in Strong's Concordance. The new moon is at 500 on March 10th. One's p.m., one's a.m., obviously. So the new moon is Sunday, March 10th at 5 a.m. It will be the new moon in Pisces. If he goes down the 9th, he goes down in Pisces, rises on Aries. Of course, March 11th is also a high watch day. I would have him rising on March 13th. Those were the two big days of 2020. So they would give us those two big days again. They are also prime numbers for 64 and 65. The 64th and 65th prime number is 311 and 313. For those of you playing at home. So Dukakis on 313 is 33,000 3 days old. Is that a big deal? Well, I think so. On the lunar eclipse, 3315. On the solar, Dukakis, 33029. I'll tell you another high watch day. The guy just ran a 42140. You got to look at 421. That's 2 days before full moon. Dukakis is 33042. Need to go back and look at it, don't we? Let's go back and look at it on 421. 137.33. .421 is 2 days before the pink full moon, iPet Goat showed him rising up through a full moon. So 2 days before any full moon is always a high watch day automatically. And sorry, just had to give you a little music there. I like a little comedic interludes. They gave us Barbenheimer. iPet Goat gives us the explosion. Is the explosion simply the deadly wound? Well, when we watch iPet Goat, we really think it's about war and real bombs going off. Because the bomb going off, the explosion is well after his right eye wound moment. But if it's the same story just being told over and over in different waves, like the book of Revelation is, because it's John's vision, not an exact order of how things take place in the end times. I think iPet Goat takes on those same characteristics, and there's also double and triple meanings. So Barbenheimer came out on the same day, and it was 7/21. So this would be 4/21. So I guess what I want to look at is it 9 days? I mean, 9 months even. So we're going to go to 2023, 7/21. It's 9 months. They have birthed Barbenheimer. Barbie is all about pink. April 21st is the pink full moon on 4/23. That means 4/21 is an extremely high watch day for him rising up through that full moon. I don't think iPet Goat gives us any color pink before this takes place. Let's look at April one more time. It's the new moon solar eclipse. Does that X across America new moon give us the full moon? The Antichrist rises up. And is it timed out as the dark night rises? Is 2 days after the dark night. And an iPet Goat, he rises up through a full moon. That means he's going down April 21st on a Sunday, rising on a Till Tuesday. Till Tuesday did a song in the movie Donnie Darko. Wednesday would then be the day of woe, the first day after the book of Revelation is opened. I would suspect the day the bomb would go off, that they give you an iPet Goat. So let's take a look at Mr. Big on the 21st. He would be 28,436. 77, 10, 7. 7 heads, 10 horns. I'll tell you what they do and why it's possible. Because the rising day, if you run him to the rising day and you include both dates, he's 77 years, 10 months, 10 days. There's your 10-10. And the trade towers were 110 stories high. 110 and 110. And you got your double tens on the rising. It's just an observation. I'm not saying anything for sure. Let's go back and run this date. to the 21st. He is 28, 436 days old. His number is 163464. Again, it begins with 464, which is the end of his number. 8262. Got 34 for murder there at the end, but nothing that jumps out at me. I want to look at the person that has the 138, the 88, the 86, and all of that in her number. I want to look. She is 9530. And it's a single digit followed by a 0, so I'll multiply it by 7154. It's not screaming murder or anything like that. Let's go to the rising then. It's going to be 9532 times 1183. Whoops. 86. Again, not seeing anything murderish. I can stretch some things like the 7661. Well, 761 is the amount of verses in Daniel and Revelation combined. Now that's my birthday, 7/6 of 1961. Hey, maybe that's the day I die. On the strawberry full moon. I mean, on the pink full moon, excuse me. Strawberry is June, if I'm not mistaken. The 21st. Why would it be the 21st? Plain and simple. It's the full moon coming from the X across America total solar eclipse. It's the fusion of Donnie Darko's rising on the solar eclipse with I Pet Goat in a cryptic way is what it is. If we run it to the Ring of Fire, which I believe would then be the Abomination of Desolation, it would be 3888 hours. 2332 in the minutes, which is Eve in Strong's Concordance, Old Testament. 399 in the seconds, which is murder in Jewish gematria, the most biblical kind. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let's run it from the 2020 eclipse, which was the exact midpoint. Oof, I messed up. To the Abomination of Desolation Day. I'm glad I saw this, though. That's how we know this is the Abomination of Desolation Day. The midpoint X across America total solar on 12/14/2020. First day of the therapy, the day Biden got his vote, electoral college votes. To October 2nd, 2024, it's 138 8 days, which is a fusion of 138 and 88, which is Donald Trump and Simple Gematria and Trump and Simple Gematria. But let's run that to 4/21, the 86ing day. It's 12/24. And that means to the 23rd, it's going to give you the 12/26. Now remember the 226 taking flight on the, I want to go 1955, 226, because if y'all remember, that was on the tag. Exactly. So when Bond looks at his tag, is that, you see the 226 in 1955? Well, are they giving us a cipher to track February 26th, 1955, or the 226th day of 1955? And you also have a 9. Let's take a stab at it. So 226 to 423, it's 25, 25, 9. If we run it to anything this month, for instance, you're in that, ooh, tomorrow's a good one. 25, 214. Ooh, and he would rise on the 11th, 25, 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. But the 214, the 214th verse is of Revelation is Revelation 13:3. Deadly wound, but did live. First time it's mentioned. The 226th day of the year is August 14th. 25, 25, 75. I'm just looking at the other dates real quick before I run and jump to something. Okay, so August 14th, 1955. That's another way to look at that cell phone where it says take flight. I want to look at the 11th, May 11th, which transfer portals. That's the stuff we're finding on May 11th is just beyond fascinating. And what we're just now realizing the potential of the pink full moon. Pink Barbie came out with Oppenheimer exactly 9 months. Take flight, if it's 226th day. I would lean towards it's February 26th, but the 226th day. And it could cryptically mean 226 days left in the year. Because it's giving you a future tense taking flight. You want to look at that real quick? 365 minus 226. It's 139. So that's going to be in May. So we're going to subtract 120. So it's May 18th. That's really more like it. 25, 178. 11 months, 5 days. Means when he goes down, it's 11 months, 3 days. 11-3-3-11 code. I don't know. I'm just looking at stuff. I am going to start a playlist if I haven't already, because therein lies the rub. I may already have a playlist for April 21st. And if I do, I probably did it a long time ago because I cannot remember it, can I? LOL. There's March 23rd. There's March 11th. That's about to fly away. May 21st. I mean, all right. Do I have a playlist already made? Let me pause. All right. I guess that just about does it. What do you think? Ain't no way none of y'all know what song that is. Like when you play name that tune. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Y'all just aren't that good. Unless you use some sort of app. Hey, I'm telling you now, man, I am big. We're going to start a playlist on this September 21st. Y'all want to just do one for kicks? Let's just do one. Let's do one for kicks. Let's do The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. All right, we'll do The Dark Knight to the 86ing day and just see what it spits out. It was July 18th. It did have a premiere on the 14th. Ah, 57, 56 in the days. On Rising, it'd be 57, 58. So I totally get it. You're doing 5, you're doing 56, 57, 58. But, then we go to the Rising Day, and we'll go to the 20th, The Dark Knight Rises. Just not seeing it. We'll do Donnie Darko with its January 19th Sundance. Not really. But maybe that's the caveat. Maybe that's the trick. I will tell you, it is Eve coding. 2332 is Eve in Strong's Concordance Old Testament. Is 23 years, 3 months, 2 days on the 86ing day. It is 279 months. 79 is murder. It is 121 of the weeks. All right. So it actually is a lot. I just wasn't looking in the right places at first. And let's go to its worldwide release on October 26th. And on the Rising Day, you do have 11/7 in the weeks, which is perfect. Smash hit, as they say. Smash hit. 1173 3 weeks and 4 days. All right, anyway, love you.